What are the cards that President Xi holds right now? It seems he's in control of the debate. Is that true?
Xi is looking to appear in control of the domestic debate, but right now the focus in Beijing is how to take advantage of the unrest in the United States to better position Beijing and Xi Jinping. So the U.S. mishandling of the virus spread within its borders, President Trump abandoning the WHO and global leadership during a global pandemic, as well as the scenes of rioting and unrest and divisiveness in the U.S., all contrast with how Xi Jinping is looking to portray a competent, orderly China that is willing to make contributions to the global public good, including by providing money to the WHO for global pandemic relief efforts. So we're watching the way that Beijing is trying to position itself to shore up its own reputation externally, but also domestically at this time of U.S. crisis.
Right. What will be, Meredith, the action that Beijing will take to shore up its relationship with the third world?
I think at this stage, Beijing is going to try to position itself as the country that is more concerned and focused on their overall well-being of emerging market economies. And it's not just with global pandemic relief, Tom and Francine. It is also Beijing being the global power that is putting monies into global infrastructure and trying to keep open global trade and investment ties at a time of global fragmentation. This will be successful partially depending upon how closely those emerging market economies are tied with China. But to be clear, the developing world governments, they want choice. They don't want to be put in one camp or the other as the world's two largest economies continue to face off. They want to be able to get the investment and trade from both large economies. And we're going to be watching as these emerging market economies struggle to try to balance the competing pressures of the two.
Meredith, good morning from London. You talk about global fragmentation. Is it going to be even worse in 2021 compared to what we're seeing now?
Francine, we do believe so. If you look at where the numbers are heading, even with economies partially reopening, until we have a vaccine that makes it safe for all workers to go to work and for businesses to fully reopen, if you look at the pathway of the virus spread, what we expect is there's going to be a partial reopening of economies, much like you're seeing in Europe and the United States. But as the virus transcends through the emerging market world, you're going to have that same effect. We're not going to see that sharp rise in cases and a sharp peak that comes down. Rather, you're going to see more of a long wave of cases that slowly bend down until there is that vaccine. That's going to have a disruptive effect on consumption, and that means disruption for business activity and ultimately employment and livelihoods. That's going to make it more difficult for these economies to recover. They're going to be looking for an outside lifeline, and right now it's China more so than the United States who is speaking in a way that gives them a sense that China is looking out for that trade and investment interest
right.
At a time when the U.S. is more so focused inwardly.